All units, stand by.
Like, something happened and someone's scheming somebody, and I'm just confused.
What up, people?
That's it.
So let me, first of all, welcome you back to another show. For the people that are listening and not watching,
You should watch.
Lenny, why don't you tell them what I'm wearing?
Well, I'll give a hint because I like to play games. So it's one of my favorite characters from a beloved Disney movie about a boy who is either in some kind of hallucinogenic dream or some kind of fairy tale where he meets a bunch of stuffed animals that live in the 100-acre wood. And this particular character can't keep his tail pinned to his butt and has a sour demeanor. Eeyore. Who's one of my favorites too, actually.
Oh, that's perfect because guess what?
What?
The reason why I wore this today is because I get to be a jackass and ask you crazy questions to interview you.
Bring it. I love it. I love it. Jackass
put me in the hot seat last week, so let's see what happens this week.
Let's do it. You know, my favorite movie of all time is Jackass the movie.
Oh, great. There goes the first question I was going to ask.
I wonder if there's a person alive that would actually be serious with that answer.
Oh, man. So anyway, let me actually lower this thing because it's kind of hot in here.
I wonder now.
If people are watching, you will see me struggling with
You're gonna start
my onesie.
sweating.
So onesie is in a onesie.
Onesie. I love that. It's my onesie.
So I will, full disclosure, I am the worst interviewer, and I don't know how to ask any questions.
Very good. I like that.
So on that note,
I'll answer all of those questions. Exactly.
I will ask you the following.
Hit me.
Why did you get into NFTs?
Shit. Well, I'll tell you the story. So I was looking for a book to read or listen to rather as I'm out walking, doing exercise. And my buddy recommended Gary Vaynerchuk. No one's ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. He is kind of like the whole reason anyone ever got into NFTs. So
I hope you guys caught the sarcasm there.
you live under a fucking rock if you've never heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. And I don't know how you found our podcast. So I was listening to it, and it was his newest book, the 12 and a half book.
Yes, that's actually kind of like what led me to. Go ahead.
Really? So I hated Gary V. My buddy recommended it. I'm like, that dude is pompous. He's a pain in the ass. He's so full of himself. This is going to be the boringest shit ever. And
I really hope he listens to this.
I know. Yeah, Gary, I hope you listen because I did not have a high opinion of you. And then I started listening to the book, and I started thinking, like, this book is actually kind of garbage too. Because it just was kind of his opinion on leadership. And I was like, what, how does he even get an opinion on leadership? So, I said, you know what, I'm going to stick with it. And it was kind of interesting because the audio book is set up like an interview. It's not a just read along book. It's set up like an interview. And then Gary kind of goes off on these tangents. It's almost like a podcast, the audio book.
Well, I think that is his talent, right? Where he just knows how to talk to people. I don't think writing is his talent, and I don't think like all that studying is really the talent. But him learning and being able to communicate, because he's great at podcasts. He's great at speaking. I enjoy that.
He's great off the cuff. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And so then, of course, I go, okay, I'm going to look this guy up. I'm going to learn more about him. That, of course, leads directly to VFriends and book games. And then I get into the one of the podcasts, start listening to the podcast. And now I want to learn about NFTs. So that is how I got into it. It was from my buddy, Steve, who said you should listen to Gary V, who I said Gary V's an ass. And then, of course, now I love the guy like a million other people on the planet do love him.
Yeah, once you get to know them, you get to love them, right?
It's true. It's true.
So here's another question.
Yeah.
If you could pick one job, like one specific job within the NFT community.
Oh, because I was going to say porn star. I was going to say porn star, but that. I was ready in the NFT community.
Well, you know what? You could be a porn star in the NFT community. I don't know how you would completely
actually
design those NFTs.
Well, that's a good point.
I mean, why not?
Actually, that's a great point. Are there like porno NFTs? Because that would break the marketplace. It would completely destroy the marketplace.
Yeah, it would be like, no, I mean, what do you mean by destroy the marketplace?
Like it would
ruin it?
No,
would
it would
lift it?
Yeah, it would. Well, it would sell out. I mean, porn is the number one consumed media product on the planet. Everyone that tries,
I am shocked. I never even watched that. I'm actually learning about porn from you right now.
So porno stands for pornography, and no, I mean honestly, that is a good question. I'm just kind of interested in is whether or not.
Sorry, I walked away. My dog was scratching my door, and he could be a handful sometimes.
Oh, sure. Last week I had my cat in the room, so we're all done. So no, but let me answer your question because I don't believe that I have the fortitude or the stamina to be a porn star. So I think if I could choose one thing in the NFT community to be, I kind of feel like I'm feeling that role right now. Like my place I like to be is kind of as a thought leader to kind of look at I'm super interested in the ethics of Web3 because we're blurring the lines between, all right, so, and we've talked about this before, on the street, if I steal from you, if I walk up to you and take money out of your hand and I'm going to jail if I get caught, at least we all can agree that that was a bad thing that I just did. Okay. But if we're in a video game, like what's the game? Gosh, I sound like a million years old now. What's the game all the kids are playing where you Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, definitely did not know what you were talking about.
You can do a lot of terrible shit in Grand Theft Auto, and it's part of playing the game. Now, that game is not a Web3 game, but it's going to look a lot like what that game looks like. And so the ethics of Web3, where you see memes or videos all the time of like the fight that broke out in a metaverse, what does that mean? Like when you don't have to confront someone face to face and you're someone else. We were on a serious business call the other day, and one of the people was saying that they like that they are a PFP. And what they said is because they can be their best self. They can be who they want to be. And that's why they're not doxxed. But the reverse is true too. And you can be completely someone else. There's a guy I follow in Twitter Spaces. He's actually a hilarious dude because he's very outgoing. He's very boisterous. He's kind of in your face. He's kind of a dick, but I love him. But he confessed to me that like in his real life, he's not like that. That's like his personality.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you get to be like this alter ego of who you wish you could be online.
Right. So then the question comes into, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going deep because that's where I think. The question comes into play is about what is your personality? Because it's not one thing anymore. Juan and I spend how many hours a day online, like in this place? You're not the same person, and so how many personalities do we have? It's not just your home life and your work life. Now you have your web life, and then your web life is split into 3 lives. So I guess the answer is I'm really interested in being here. Like when us talking about it, going to conferences, getting excited about what's coming forward. I am investing, but I'm also kind of analyzing and recommending people to think very carefully about every part of this because it's brand new. And so, we can help make sure that the stereotype isn't set. Oh, you know what I heard today? Side story.
I'm listening.
I was watching something, and you know how the term alpha male, like the wolf pack, the alpha male is the one that runs the pack. Well, yeah. I saw today, I don't know how true it is, but I saw that was some dude did a study in the 1950s on a pack of wolves. And that's what he reported. And he called it the alpha male. And this is the wolf pack. And that's how the term alpha male came from. And he later realized that he was completely off. That's not true. That's not how packs are families. And they're ran like any other family. And they're not at all like that. Now in captivity they are, but not in the wild. They're not like that. He spent the rest of his career trying to convince everybody that he was wrong, and no one believes him.
Wow, talk about marketing and branding something and like completely brainwashing the entire world with it.
Right, because dudes, of course, jump on that like alpha male,
yeah,
wolf pack, yeah. So
that's funny.
Long story short, I like to answer the questions and spend a lot of time answering them.
So, from my understanding, is that you want to be a thought leader, as in this space, and and basically more move towards the ethics part to make sure people understand and doing the what's right and wrong. Now, I put what's right and wrong in quotations because right and wrong is subjective.
Subjective, absolutely,
me,
absolutely. Because if I, my meta character shoots your meta character, no one really is damaged in one way of thinking, but another way of thinking that could be property damage because it's an asset and you could destroy assets. So it's going to get blurry as we move into permanent assets that live on the blockchain. It's going to get blurry.
The other thing that I like, and I don't know, I don't want to date you, but not date you.
You do want to date me.
So were you at all active in the AOL chat rooms back in the day?
Oh yeah. So.
Right?
Yep. I was dial up AOL. I wish I remembered my name.
Right. So when you said we get to like create the alter ego of who we want to be, when in my AOL days, I was like this suave, cool guy online picking up these girls from LA, California, and meeting girls from everywhere in the world, and they were my online girlfriends.
Yep.
But in the real world, I was like completely afraid to talk to a girl.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes in, where you have the freedom and you're not as embarrassed as you need to be or can be usually on person.
Should be. You're not as you're not as considerate as you should be. Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's where the alter ego comes, where you could be somebody different online, and unfortunately, many won't face the consequences, but you could come out of your shell in a way, and it might help you in the real world.
It's true. It's a tool. It's not good or bad, but just being able to think through it is, I think, important.
All right. Here comes the next question.
Let's hear it.
This is funny because this was somebody submitted this question to us. How many ping pong balls fit in a 747 airplane?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because I actually was studying this the other day. A fuckload? Is the answer a fuckload?
That's actually the right answer. That is insane. How did you know?
I studied that. I knew that was the answer.
So the question that I wanted to ask you was, if you were to build an NFT project, like a passion project, what would you build?
Ooh, I have a bunch. I actually do. My wife, the one I'm most excited about.
Which wife? The wife that you're most excited about?
The wife that I'm most excited about. The wife that I have, who is in the military, is very passionate about giving voice to especially females in the military, and to show that we still have a long way to go with equal treatment and fair treatment. And a lot of times, even if there is harassment in the military, it's not treated as it should. A lot of times the females are the ones that are sent to a different unit so that they stop being harassed instead of really addressing the situation. And combine that with the fact that there's this victimization. When we're talking about warriors, we're talking about trained killers. Like they're not a victim. They've been wronged, and it would be no different than if it happened to any of us. But there's still this taboo around it, and it's hard for them to come forward. It's hard for them to stay strong without being beat up over it, not literally, but or even being sent out. There's so many stories. So that one, the reason I like it as an NFT project is because I think we can highlight their strength as warriors and their strengths as women and how they can really change how we perceive these kinds of things and not see them. This is not about like protecting anyone. They don't need our protection. They just need us to all get on the same page because there's some bullshit and it's going to change. And so that's a project I think I'm the most passionate about where we're kind of talking about it in the background, and I don't mind telling everyone because it just has to change. And so anyone can jump on board because we will get there. So that's definitely one that will happen sooner or later.
Well, I love that. That's really inspiring. Let me know because I will completely jump in and support that whatever way I can.
I knew you would. I think you would say that if I said I had a Save the Goldfish campaign that I'm working on, because
it's funny because I love goldfish.
You know what I love about goldfish? I don't even know if this is true. It may be another one of those alpha dog things, but I've heard that goldfish have like a 1 second memory or something like that.
Oh yeah,
that's what I've heard. Like they have a 1 second memory, and that's why they're always happy. And that's how I feel. I feel like I'm a goldfish because I don't remember shit, and I'm always happy because I don't remember the bad stuff. So, Goldfish Project, that'll be the next one.
So welcome to episode 7 or 8
or 9.
I forgot. We have the goldfish mentality right now.
That's right.
That's so funny that you mentioned that because I've been watching Ted Lasso, and he talked about that.
Yeah. And that's probably where I got it. You know, I'm going to just start quoting Ted Lasso and act like I'm brilliant.
Awesome. So here's another question for you. How would your coworkers or the people you work with describe you?
Probably a pain in the ass because I am not very organized. I don't actually have too many coworkers anymore. I have you that we work on a lot of projects together. But when I quit my last job, I kind of vowed never to work for people again. And that isolates you a little bit, you know, being an entrepreneur and owning your own business. You work with other leaders, but as far as like co-workers or, you know, stuff like that, I don't have as much. I think in my previous roles, in my previous career, I always tried to kind of balance leadership and purpose with kind of motivation. So being a little silly, having fun. Also, I always feel like perspective is so important. I mean, my old job, so just for everybody that knows, I wasn't always this easy go lucky guy. So I used to be a corporate, I was IT solutions manager. So I was in a corner office on Michigan Avenue, looking out over Lake Michigan and fucking miserable in my suit with my tie like a noose around my neck. And I would walk into a meeting and, you know, it was literally a fucking meeting about a meeting where we're just, you know, we got a $20 million budget and we need to make sure that we get this right. And the person at the front of the meeting was the big dog, you know, and everyone had to just agree with them. And I would walk into the room and just not give a shit, like no shit's given. Like it was just, it got so old that I think we're all changing that way. I bet that culture cannot stay the way it was, but
yeah, especially because you have people like, first of all, suits and ties are, I think of the past. I used to do the same thing. I used to love buying suits, the ties, looking good.
Yeah.
And now I get to.
And now you work in Eeyore.
Right? I'm dressed as Eeyore from New York, right?
Yeah.
So I love that because it's freedom. It's complete freedom to be yourself and just enjoy.
Well, yeah, and it removes all the bullshit, and you could focus on accomplishing tasks. When we get together now, you and I or the other people I collaborate with, it's all about the work and about your attitude and your kind of what you bring to the table. And that's the other thing. I have no patience for bullshit or liars or dummies or anybody that is just trying to freeload, you know, to just jump in for the ride. I have no patience for that because now I am responsible for me. I'm responsible for my product and what it looks like. And anyone that kind of gets in the way with that or wants to waste my time, I'm just like, you know, fuck off. Like, I don't have time for that. No patience.
Yes. I completely agree with you on that. So here's another question for you that I have.
Tell me.
And this is I don't know, because usually you would say, like, how would you explain something to a child?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then it's like, how do you explain something to an old person?
Yeah.
Because like technology is so new, I feel like if I'm going to explain it to a child, they'd be like, no, you got that wrong. Let me tell you how it really is.
You have no idea. Yep.
Right. So I guess, how would you explain NFTs to somebody in the 1800s? How about that?
Holy shit, right? Oh my God. In the 1800s, they don't even know what a computer is. I saw, there was a really great skit that I saw that was really funny about this guy that's a knight that goes to slay this dragon, and he's having this conversation where he comes back out of the cave he was going to slay the dragon, and the townspeople are like, hey, did you kill the dragon? He's like, well, I tried to kill the dragon, but he didn't have any gold. They're like, where's his gold? He's like, oh, well, his gold is on the blockchain. So he didn't have any gold. But never fear, I have this, an NFT. And he just holds his hand and it's empty.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that.
So, I don't even know where to begin. I guess really the best explanation to give anyone is it is an asset. I mean, regardless of its value, because assets can change in value just based off of need. Sand, right? Sand can be something you could own, but no one would buy it from you because they can get their own. Like, it's cheap as shit.
That's true.
But if you're, it could even be like water, same, right? But if you're in a place that you can't get it, suddenly it's very valuable. So NFTs are more an exaggeration of that marketing, that economic model. But yeah, I wouldn't even know where to begin, because you sure wouldn't start with technology, because in the 1800s they wouldn't even know where it was coming from. So I'd say an NFT it's just a thing you can own that can be worth money based on how many people want to buy one.
Perfect. All right. So now, since we're coming towards the end, let me ask you a couple of rapid fire questions. So you gotta answer as fast as possible.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get right up to the mic. I'm gonna answer so fast.
Would you rather have coffee or water?
Coffee.
Wow, nice.
In fact, I don't drink enough water.
Summer or winter?
Summer. I live in Tampa.
Why?
I live in Tampa, Florida. Actually, winter and summer are the same.
Cats or dogs?
Fuck me. I don't like them. I have 3 cats. I don't love cats. Cats. Cats take care of themselves.
Oh, nice. Favorite place you like to visit?
Ooh, one of my, I'll say St. Augustine, Florida is my most visit. I thought that's where I was going to go live, but Hawaii is also wonderful. I don't like to go anywhere there's snow or mountains.
I guess you're not coming to New York anytime soon.
Well, I'll come to see you, but then I'll complain about how cold it is.
All right, here's my other question. Reading books or listening to audiobooks?
Wait, let me just do this real quick. I'll answer that question real quick.
Oh, wow, you're a reader.
Oh, look at this one too. That's for you.
First Spanish reader.
Yeah, we're gonna communicate. Also, did you see all the dust coming off of them? Yeah, I'm a reader.
So I love audiobooks the most. I can listen to audiobooks for hours.
I do when I'm like walking or moving or something, when I'm on road trips, but I prefer the written word. It just, I don't know. I just love it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, baby.
All right, guys. So this was another episode of
Mint
Meltdown, where we are getting to know Lenny
AKA LeCoq.
That's right.
That's my handle. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you're looking for me in the Discords or the spaces, my moniker is LeCoq, which is French for the rooster, which I like because, as we all know, roosters are very quiet, tame animals that are mostly solitary and never seen or heard.
So, just be honest, Lenny, the reason why it's LeCoq is because you still, wanting to do that porno NFT
because I'm 5.
project.
I'm 5 years old on the inside, and I like the way that sounded.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Next week, we'll bring you more episodes on scams. Now that you got to know us, I thought it was really fun. Especially to everybody that's been listening. Anything you have to say, Lenny?
Peace out, y'all. Stay safe.